Welcome back. You've given us some really great material on a moment that feels absolutely critical in the Universal Century timeline, the Dawn Rebellion from Mobile Suit Gundam, the origin.
Absolutely. It really does feel like the flashpoint before the one-year war properly kicks
We're
off.
setting the scene in UC-0077, right? Side 3, Zeon territory.
That's it. And the setup is just asking for trouble. You've got the Zeon Military Academy practically next door to a Federation garrison, right there in the Guardian Banchi colony.
Talk about tension and the key players.
Mm-hmm.
Publicly, it's Garma Zabi leading the charge.
Mm-hmm. The Zabi prince. But behind the scenes, pulling the strings, is Char Aznable.
Operating under his Casval Rem Daikun alias, then, of course. We know his history, his link to Zeon Zum Daikun, suggesting, deeper motives, revenge.
Definitely revenge. So our mission for this deep dive, let's unpack the causes, walk through the rebellion itself, look at the immediate results, and importantly highlight where the origin manga and the OVA tell slightly different stories.
Okay, so background first. What's brewing? We've got Zeon pushing hard for independence, that whole space-noid exploitation narrative.
Right. And the Zabi family consolidating power after Zeon Daikon's death. Tensions with the Federation are already sky high.
And Zeon's building up its military kind of on the quiet.
Very quietly, they're reorganizing their forces, but the big thing is the secret development of mobile suits disguised initially as mobile workers. Industrial gear.
Clever. A way to build weapons under the radar.
Yeah.
And having Federation troops stationed right there inside 3 must have been a constant thorn in their side.
Oh, absolutely. A daily reminder of Federation control. Then comes the spark, the catalyst event. And here's our first major divergence.
Okay, lay it out for us, the OVA version.
In the OVA, it's presented as a tragic accident. A Federation cruiser collides with a Zeon transport, which then crashes into an agricultural block. Devastating, but accidental negligence.
But the manga?
The manga suggests it was a meteorite, or maybe an ice comet, that the Federation's observation network completely failed to detect. Still a Federation failure, but it shifts the blame and competence rather than direct, albeit accidental, action.
Interesting distinction. Either way, the result is chaos in Zum City. Public anger boils over.
Mm-hmm. And again, the sources differ on the Federation's reaction to the riots. The OVA shows them cracking down hard, violently.
Whereas the manga paints them as more restrained.
Yeah, it suggests they didn't fire any shots, almost regretting they couldn't prove they weren't hostile. It subtly makes the later cadet attacks seem maybe less like a spontaneous reaction and more planned.
Right. Meanwhile, you've got Digwin Zabi worried about things escalating, and especially about his son, Garma.
And that concern, ironically, gives Char the perfect opening. He sees Garma's ambition, his desire to be a hero.
And manipulates him into leading this rebellion.
Precisely. For Char, this isn't about Zeon's freedom, not really. It's step one in his plan against the Zabis.
So the rebellion kicks off. Garma gives this rousing speech to, about 200 cadets?
Around that, 30 years. And there's that wild detail about Zenomiya managing to temporarily sideline Dazzle Zabi. Shows the intensity.
Then the attack begins. Cadets using land movers, like construction vehicles.
Pretty much, yeah. Armed and used to assault the Federation barracks. But the really effective part was the mortar bombardment.
Which was incredibly precise, hitting the control tower, barracks, the arsenal.
All thanks to Char's planning. He had the intel. And the Federation troops found their movements blocked by explosives the cadets had planted earlier.
Their command structure crumbled quickly, too, with the Federation commander injured right away in the control tower.
It was fast and brutal. And then there's that really dark moment, especially highlighted in the OVA.
Lino Fernandez.
Yeah. Char kills him, coldly. Lino was a fellow cadet who knew Char's real identity, Casval. Char just eliminates the risk.
Chilling. It shows how ruthless he already is. And then Char himself leads the final assault on the control tower.
Takes it himself, secures the surrender. By the time Dazzle Zabi shows up, the fighting's over. Just that iconic red dawn breaking.
So, aftermath. Publicly, it's euphoria in Zum City. Garma's a hero.
Total Zabi propaganda win. Privately, though, you've got very angry Federation officials meeting with Zeon leaders.
But Digwin Zabi plays it brilliantly.
Oh, absolutely. He offers apologies, but then uses the whole incident as leverage. He demands the total withdrawal of all Federation forces from Side 3.
And gets it, along with their military assets.
Gets it all. A huge strategic victory born from this cadet rebellion.
What about Dazzle? He was in charge of the academy.
He takes the fall, made the scapegoat, forced to resign as superintendent, but he doesn't entirely buy the official story. He suspects Char,
And expels him.
expels him. Though, again, there are slight differences in the manga and OVA about Char's rank at the time and exactly how he leaves. But Duzzle definitely distrusts him.
Yet even as he's leaving, Char's already thinking ahead, asking Duzzle about joining the Mobile Suit program.
Always playing the long game. And that Red Dawn, the OVA, makes it explicit. That's the inspiration for Char's famous red color scheme later on.
A powerful symbol. So just to recap those key differences for everyone listening. The initial disaster's cause, collision versus meteorite, how the Federation handles the riots, Lino Fernandez's presence and fate.
Right, and Char's departure details, plus that explicit link between the Red Dawn and his color in the OVA, which the manga leaves more ambiguous. These aren't huge plot changes, but they do shift our perception of blame and motivation.
It really underscores that the Dawn Rebellion was so much more than just some cadets letting off steam. It was a calculated move, a catalyst that accelerated everything towards the one-year war.
Absolutely. It exposed the deep cracks and showcased the ruthlessness of players like Char, all under the guise of Zeon's independence movement.
It leaves you thinking, doesn't it? How a relatively small, localized conflict like this could spiral outwards with such massive consequences.
And it makes you consider how different tellings of the same event can subtly change how we see the people involved, their motives, and the history itself. Think about Char's endgame and how easily public opinion was swayed by propaganda.
Definitely food for thought. Well, thanks for diving deep into that pivotal moment with us. We'll catch you on the next exploration.